Hello and welcome back to the Goat Cave podcast. Today we have a rider who's known for being one of the burliest street riders ever, with some of the biggest sins ever as well. Some of the stuff that he's done is, like just huge gap to tooth hangers all the time, huge gap to over tooths. Pretty much any big gap to peg grind, you know that he's done it. Trying the loop at Swamp Fest on a 16-inch bike known as the Barbie bike, doing a frame slide on a 110cc dirt bike at the Hollywood High 16, and so much more. When your motto is don't think, just go, it makes for some interesting clips and some intense bails. When he isn't blowing minds with his riding, he's often found building miniature replica spots out of wood or, just cement as well. And dude, those are insane. Like they're done so well. They look so good. The detail is amazing. But yeah, I'm super excited to sit down and speak with BSD's own Denim Cox. Denim, how are you, man?
What's up? I'm good. I'm just chilling, getting ready for work tonight. Kind of sitting in my room, checking my stocks, seeing how they're doing.
Yeah, I saw that you're into stocks. How'd you get into that? Sauce taught you, right?
About yesterday, I started putting money into the stock market because Sauce said, "Hey,
Oh,
time's now, bro."
there you go.
Better on. So, I'm up $50 today, feeling good about it.
So you're like a professional now then, eh? That's pretty sweet.
Feeling like it.
Oh, man. So typically the way this podcast starts out, we go back in time a little bit to when you first started riding. How did you get started?
Oh, man. I've always been on two wheels. That's just been a thing since probably 3, 4 years old, maybe even 2. I don't know. I started out riding dirt bikes, and I couldn't even get the pedaling thing down. I was just all about the motor from day one. I had a little PW50, and I'd chase my cousin around the yard because he had one too. But I think one day I just saw my cousin cranking through the farm out in Arizona, and I was like, all right, it's my time. Got on that bike and just started pedaling away, and I pretty much never set it down since then. I mean, I got into skateboarding for a little bit, but I think everybody did.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think a lot of people started out with skating and then either switched or I know a lot of people that went from BMX to skateboarding as well.
Yeah.
What
That's for sure what I did. I definitely started riding and, was building dirt jumps behind my house and stuff. And then about 12 years old came around and all my friends started skating. So I started getting into that. And then, now it's pretty much straight up BMX.
Hell yeah. And do you remember the first bike that you ever had? Like your first BMX?
My first real BMX, when I really started getting back into it, was a DK racing frame. It had a 19.5-inch top tube because I was just a little ass dude. So my dad got me the shortest bike he could possibly find. Found it under the Christmas tree one Christmas morning. Started building that sucker up. I remember that's definitely the first bike that I ever had like a small sprocket on. And it didn't come with a small sprocket, no way. It came with 44 tooth and then 14 tooth back wheel. And I took that thing and I had to cut brake mounts off of it to put 25/9 onto it. And I ended up cracking that frame a couple times, welding it back together, putting some Bondo in it, throwing some spray paint on it, slapping that thing on Craigslist and selling it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a weird one, eh? When brake mounts weren't removable, you like actually had to cut them off.
Yeah, straight up, because they were on the bottom, and that was right in the way of the chain.
Yeah,
no brakes, no problem.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was brakeless. I've been riding brakes for like probably 5-6 years now, though, and they're definitely not coming off anytime soon.
Yeah, right on.
Did you ever ride with brakes, or pretty much always just a brakeless rider?
I definitely never did no stunts on brakes. I had brakes. Actually, I did have one bike before that DK. It was when I was a real little guy. It was a 16-inch, I think Dave Mira, Haro, matte red with all black parts. That thing was gangster.
Hell yeah.
And that was the only bike that I ever had brakes on, a 16-inch.
That's so crazy, eh? That's like,
yeah.
I feel like the era that you started out in was like the perfect time to, become like a brakeless rider. I know for me, that was definitely like everybody was brakeless. I've been riding for probably 10 years now, I think.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was probably right there at that time where people were starting to rip them off, and it was cool to not have brakes, you know.
Yeah. So who are some of the riders that you looked up to?
Dude, back then I didn't even know. I literally had no idea. I looked up to my friends who had bikes and wanted to ride with me, and they've been hitting dirt jumps or whatever, like just local dudes in my town. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of Dakota Brat, but he's a local legend from Arizona who always does like backflip manuals and backflip X-up manuals and like weird stuff like that. So I definitely always looked up to him and was like, yo, you got to teach me bar spins one day, shit like that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, honestly, out of like all the pros that I've, done on this show, pretty much all of them have always said, like just local people that they rode around, which is super cool.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I was talking
It's
to
just
Night.
easy to look up to your friends, you know? They're right there, and they're inspiration because they're so close.
Oh, absolutely. I was talking to Nyquist last weekend, and he was even saying, like when he first started out, it was just a lot of the people that he rode with that got him really interested in it. And I believe he said as well that he switched back and forth from a skateboard and a bike for a little bit. And then, or no, sorry, it was that he never went on to a skateboard. All of his friends, skated. And then, yeah, he just kept riding BMX.
Oh, thank God, man. That fool's a legend.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was pretty crazy to sit down with him, like he's a legend in not just like, a couple people, like he is literally one of the biggest names in BMX.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows that name.
Oh, absolutely. So, we'll skip past a couple of years now. How did you get hooked up with BSD?
Oh, man. BSD kind of fell into my lap. It's pretty crazy. I was actually riding for Stranger at the time, and I went on a 3-week trip to Barcelona with the entire Common Crew pretty much, and that was when that first Common Crew Barcelona video dropped. So we were out there doing that, and then at the end of that trip, somehow, some way, one of my buddies said, "Hey, man, you just quit your job at home. You don't need to go back, dude," and talked me into staying in Barcelona. So I missed my flight. Said, "Fuck it, I'll stay here." And my buddy Abdullah actually decided to skip his flight and stay there as well. So now we're both just living in Spain with some BMX riders. We ended up staying there for 4 months.
Whoa, that's fucking cool. That's like,
dude, it was crazy. I left that place so broke. It's not even funny, but
yeah.
in the midst of my brokenness and living out there, I met a good guy named Reed Stark. Reed Stark came into town, and he stayed in this BMX house because it was like the BMX house in Barcelona. It's where that dude Fernando Gomarin lived.
Oh shit, that's
he was
sick.
Kind of like the filmer and the dude that knew every single spot in Barcelona.
Yeah.
So his house was just kind of a spot that people would show up at, and he would take us out and stuff like that. But yeah, Reed pulled up one day, and I don't know, he had like a wheel set that he needed help building. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll help you build that shit." And sitting there building his wheels, and we're just bullshitting the whole time, hanging out. And then a few days go by, and all of a sudden, Animal Z gets put on to Stranger. So, you know how that is. I mean, everybody kind of was caught off guard. And that's kind of what sparked people leaving. Like, Augie posted that thing. He was like, "Oh, fuck LZ, fuck Rich Hirsch, fuck this, fuck that." And he left Stranger with that note. And then that kind of, like, put a little tone in all of our heads. We're like, "Oh, shit, man. Like, he's right. This shit's crazy." So I'm just sitting there, and Reed's, like, making fun of me. He's like, "Yo, dude, you could always go hang out with Adam LZ," like, just fucking with me. But at the same time, I'm sitting there tripping, like, "Dude, fuck this. This kind of sucks." And Reed, we were kind of buddies after that shit. And I don't know, about a month later, I got hit with an offer. He goes, "Yo, you want to ride for BSD? I'll put your name in a hat." I was like, "All right, yeah, dude, do it." And then one day I'm at work at the wood factory, and Grant Smith calls me. Says, "Hey, buddy, how are you?" So that's kind of how it went.
Hell yeah.
Reed is 100% responsible for that shit, and I am so goddamn grateful, because BSD is literally the greatest BMX team on the planet.
Oh, absolutely. You know, like they're seriously like there's 5 top BMX fucking companies in the world right now, and BSD is 100% in those top 5. You know, like they're
Yeah, I
known.
think BSD's been #1 for the past couple of years.
Oh yeah, like you know the riders are insane. Everybody on that team is fucking incredible. You guys put out incredible videos. You know, there's a lot of people that I guarantee wish that they were on BSD, and
Oh yeah.
to go back on that Stranger thing, you know, it's weird that Stranger has since, you know, kind of not died out, but like, you know, I don't know. My thoughts personally are like they had a lot of bad press after that, you know, like a lot of people that really looked at the pros and respected the pros got really pissed when LZ was, you know, sponsored by them.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to see because that was kind of the first guy that came from YouTube that was like mainly a YouTube star, you know? Because like even like Billy Perry and those guys, they're really not that bad. Like Billy Perry is really good, and he's on.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's on Merit, and he was on Volume. I don't know if he still is. I think so though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and like you know, for him, that kind of the content that he posts really goes towards like you know the riding that he does, living in New York and whatnot. Whereas LZ, his stuff was mainly like I don't know, it seemed like it was targeted to kids a lot more, and I feel like
Yeah.
you know that was a really good opportunity for Stranger to come in and try and make a bit of money off of him, and that's 100% what they were trying to do. You know, like they definitely.
Which is fine. That's totally cool. But
Well, I mean,
dude, they didn't ask nobody. They literally just hit us with that shit.
that's the thing
And
is
that
that
was a time where everyone was starting to hate on vlogs, and like that dude was the pinnacle of a vlog. I never cared because I don't watch that shit. So I didn't even really know who LZ was. I didn't even know what it was all about. I just knew that everyone hated him, and that the fact that Rich Hirsch just kind of like went above everyone, which yeah, okay, great, he's the owner. He went above everyone, and he just like made that move without talking to anybody. I would think he would at least talk to the team manager before he just went over him and did that shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. And like, you know, like I was mentioning earlier, it was definitely a money move. And at the end of the day, no matter what, Stranger is a company, you know, it's a BMX company that needs to support, you know, there's bills, there's everything. But at the same time, it is like every action has a reaction, right? Like the consequences
100%.
for that definitely were not as great as if, you know, he just never would have bothered with it. Cause like, how much money did he realistically make off of those LZ frames? Like, can't be that much.
I think. Oh man, I can't believe he. Oh, I can't think that he actually made money off that deal. You know,
Yeah.
I think he was paying LZ a lot, and I don't know if he made money. Maybe he did for a month.
Yeah, who
Adam
knows?
LZ wasn't on there for very long. I know that.
Yeah, he left after like a year, I think, too, which is really funny.
Yeah, it is really funny, and it's all Rich Hirsch.
Yeah, there you go. It sucks that that's the way that it went because it really affects like, you know, Primo and a couple of the other companies that are under him. But like, you
Yeah.
know, you make a shitty move, you got to learn from it, right? So,
Yeah, he earned all the bad publicity he got. So.
oh, absolutely. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, you know, some trips you went on with BSD. So they sent you out to South Africa, right?
Yeah, I think that was my first international trip actually with them.
Hell yeah.
Technically.
That's like a
Which-
super cool spot to go. And I feel like nobody really goes there. You know, like obviously everybody goes to Barcelona and they go to like different areas over there, but I feel like South Africa is never really done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any videos, maybe back in the day, but yeah, dude, South Africa is crazy. There's spots everywhere. You just kind of got to drive, and that's what that trip was all about. That trip, the only reason I got to go on that is because Reed was filming a frame promo. And obviously he's the giraffe man, so he's thinking, what should I do? So he decides to go to Africa and hang out with giraffes, which is a genius move, man. So he just called me one day and was like, hey, bud, Grant's trying to get somebody on this trip. Everybody's ticket's really expensive. It looks like yours is the cheapest. You want to go? I was like, fuck yeah. You kidding me? You're going to take me to Africa right now?
That's fucking sick.
I got on that flight fucking about 2 weeks after the ticket was booked. It took me like 27 hours to get there or something fucking crazy. 3 flights.
Damn, yeah, fucking, that's gotta be insane having to switch 3 times, right? Like,
Well, it was only shitty because my bike didn't show up when I got there. So for
oh,
the first 3
motherfucker.
days of that trip, I was just standing on my ass,
See,
not
that
doing nothing.
that's what scares me about all these, international trips and whatnot. Like, you'll see dudes that fly out from the States to Simple Session and they don't get their bikes. Like, their bikes just don't show up. It's like, if you were
Yeah.
there to ride in the contest, you're kind of fucked. Like, that is really got to be rough.
Yeah, find a homie's bike, I guess.
Yeah, right. If they'll let you, that's another thing. And like
Yeah, true.
the average person wouldn't understand this, but every BMX bike, if you were to like take 2 bikes, build them up exactly the same, and then switch out one little tiny thing, it'll throw off the way the bike feels completely. And like for certain people,
Dude, if
that
you change the color of your stem, it would throw off how
yeah,
it feels.
it's
That's
so
literally minimal.
it's so weird, but it's like it can affect certain riders like so much, like for me personally, if I ride somebody else's bike at the park for 2 minutes, I can't ride mine for the rest of the day. It just feels so fucking weird. I don't know if it's just that my bike is a weird setup and I should
Well,
fix that.
that might be a you thing, brother.
Yeah, it might be.
Because I know if I'm trying to clip and I get a flat tire, I'm grabbing somebody else's bike before I fix mine. I'm saying, "Hey man, give me your wheel," or "Hey man, give me your bike." Usually
Yeah,
I pick Julian's bike. Julian's bike feels so good.
there you go. Oh man, to jump into filming here. So let's talk about your Grime Bars promo. This came out a couple years ago, and I'm gonna pull up a few of the clips on screen here. But how did you come up with that like dumpster intro? I thought that was so genius.
I am trash. That's pretty much the only explanation I got.
Oh man, that's
I'm thinking,
awesome.
like, what's the grimiest spot in town? Behind
Yeah,
the dumpster, That's
that's
where the hobos are banging, and that's just a grimy area. You don't want to be there.
that's honestly the perfect fucking idea. So I'm just gonna show that on screen right now. Sorry. So
Pretty funny, though.
yeah,
The first clip in that video is actually sick. Like, I love the fact that we found a dumpster that I could hop out of and then do a rail hop right after.
yeah, and that rail hop looks like a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it was not bad. I got no hops, let me tell you that. I have the hops of a 300-pound man, but I could get over that rail, no problem. Fly out was beautiful.
Yeah, that was something that everybody kept saying in the behind the smoke video, where it's like all the B-roll stuff. Everybody in the background's like, "Dude, you ride like you're fucking 240 pounds." Like,
I do. It's all right. I got fat boy hops.
oh, I love it.
That's
It's honestly,
wall rides.
I love that style. I don't know why, but I love the like super harsh landings or like where you're fucking really pressing down, I guess. I don't know. It's weird, but that's just, I love it. But anyways,
It's beautiful.
there's another clip right after this where you go up a skid, do a feeble, and then you land on a window and like the window breaks. How did you come up with that idea? Was everything already there at the spot or?
Yeah, I didn't come up with that idea. I don't come up with ideas. I let the spot tell me what it wants every time, no matter what. Like, I'll pull up to something, and it's not like I have a trick in mind ever, really. Like, I pull up to a spot, and then the spot goes, "Hey, man, here's what you need to do." And then I look at Sauce, and I say, "Sauce, here's what I need to do. Do you see it?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, definitely. Get it done." So, yeah, we pulled up to that spot right there, and that shower door was already leaning like that. Like, I literally did not move one thing for that clip.
That is so fucking crazy. I'm like, that is so.
And you know what's even crazier? I did that feeble into that thing a couple times, and it didn't break.
Whoa.
But then on that one that it did break, I put the extra effort in. And I was like, dude, this thing's not fucking breaking. So then I went and I just, used my weight.
That is
Just fucking smash that shit.
I actually cannot believe that it didn't fucking break the first go. I would assume that this would have been first go, like literally right into it. But yeah, you can see that
I
you
thought
like.
I had one go at it, but I got to ride down that thing a couple times. And
That's
honestly,
awesome.
I probably could have went up the other side to wall ride or something. That shit was pretty solid.
Oh man, that would have been insane. And then there's a long feeble clip after that to Smith grind, and that was super fucking cool. I really, really liked the You know, it's always really sick when you can do like a super long feeble and really hold it.
I suck so bad at holding feebles. I don't even know what clip you're talking about. I really feel like I should know and remember that one because, like I said, I suck at feebles. But
yeah, it looks like it's a giant drained out like ghetto pool thing. I don't know, or like
oh yeah, it's like a curve.
yeah,
Oh okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
That's down at
really.
the abandoned water park on the way to Vegas.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's like a shot of the actual fucking water park sign right after that. I can't believe I didn't notice that. Then there's a clip at 132 of you doing a nose manual to wall ice. And that to me, man, was incredible because like it really shows how much you have like dedicated to just being able to ride anything. You know, like most riders
Oh
would
yeah,
see that spot and be like, there's no fucking way because there's like, you know, a little sidewalk in front of it and then there's a huge gap to the actual wall rail. And
yeah, yeah. That one was definitely a little sketchy, but you know what? It's crazy. That is the first clip that we did on the Grime Tour.
really,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
fucking
even know what
crazy.
town it was in, but like somewhere up North California. That's the first clip we filmed because we were just cruising through some little town. The whole goal of that tour was cruise through little towns, little fucking dirty, nasty areas, ride alleys that nobody wants to ride stuff that nobody wants to ride at all. And we were cruising down the alley in some little town, and all of a sudden I see a little wall rail. I'm like, oh shit, little gap wall rail. And then we turn in, get up to the top of that, and as it turns out, ah, shit, there's a curve at the top. So I said, well, fuck. All right, let me feel it out. Start doing some nose manuals. I was like, oh, so I got one. Spot told me what to do. Here we go.
Hell yeah, that was super cool. And I gotta ask, the cooler that Sauce is standing on there, did you guys bring that with you or was that at the spot as well?
I imagine we brought it with us because we brought a lot of stuff on the Grand Tour. We brought hammocks, sleeping bags, and all kinds of shit. We ended up sleeping in that van just about every night.
Damn.
I think we got a hotel maybe once or got to stay at a homie's house a couple times, you know.
Yeah, because there's
yeah, I imagine we brought that cooler, and there was definitely beer in it at all times.
I was going to say there's a clip of Sauce throwing a Coors Light over to you right after that, so I'd assume that you guys brought it with you.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool. And then there was another clip on this that I really enjoyed, which was let's see here. Towards the end of the video, there's a clip of you doing an overtooth and a gap over on a kink rail. And I think that's the spot that Trey Jones did a tuck no hander over the rail to Firecracker. Do you know what spot I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think you're talking about that big red kinker.
Yeah. And that was like, I think that was an ad years ago, like a shadow ad for Trey. And that clip always blew my mind of Trey. But then to see you come here and, you know, do the craziest overtooth, like just insane, dude.
I almost died on that overtooth. There was one try where I did a nose bonk on the flat. Like I went to do the gap overtooth, and I was trying to get all of the rail for that overtooth, right? But this time I just went like barely too soft at it, and I did nose bonk on the very peak of that flat, hit that, and then did not hit the overtooth until like the bottom foot of the rail. It was so goddamn scary.
Damn.
That was one where I thought I was going to dive into the ground. For sure.
That's fucking crazy. Common Crew asks how you lost your tooth at the intro.
Common Crew asks how I lost my tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That fucking tooth. Well, okay, originally I was trying this gap wall ice out in Arizona, which turns out was an ABD trick, but I was high as fuck and wanted to try it before I knew it was ABD. Went, got really, really lazy in the ice pick, and then just went straight to my face from there. Put both of my front teeth through my lip. Ended up getting like 14 stitches. I think it was 7 on the inside and 7 on the outside, something like that.
Damn, man. Yeah,
that's how I originally lost that thing. And then on that Grime Tour, I had my fake teeth. They're feeling good. and we're trying to get me all grimy so I could get in that dumpster and film that intro. Sauce is like trying to dirty me up, you know, he's throwing dirt on me and shit. And then all of a sudden he has a big enough rock in his hand to where when it hit me in the mouth after he threw it at me, it knocked my tooth out. And that's why I'm missing a tooth in that grime promo.
Oh, dude, that's rough. Yeah,
fitting though. I mean, fuck, it worked out perfect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, definitely, like fate right there. My teeth are fucked. I have like knocked them out quite a few times. The last time that I did it was like on a handrail, just slipped off too early and fucking went right to my face. Before that, yeah, the worst.
God.
Before that, I was hitting a box jump and my fucking fork snapped like literally right when I landed. So like boosted over this huge box jump, warm up at the park that I was living at the time, and forks just exploded right to my fucking face. Like literally all my teeth on the one side got pushed in and like had to go to the hospital and get them to pull them back, which was super fucked.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's fucking miserable, bud. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's fine. Fucking toughens you up, that's for sure.
Should have got some BSD forks.
You know what's funny? I actually bought a pair of BSD forks right after that. I think the forks
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I think the forks that I rode before that actually snapped were a set of clap forks, and then right after that, I bought a set of BSDs, the acid fork actually.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, those things were fucking beefy. That's for sure. Oh man. So, anyways, after you did that overtooth, you also did a gap to over pegs, and it's like really weird because it's kind of like a thread the needle, like you're literally landing on the rail and there's another rail right there. So I'll show that.
That was the whole point of that spot right there. Like that's another one. The spot told me what to do. It said, hey, you love over peg grinds. There's a perfect one right there, and I guarantee nobody's done it yet. So that's what that one was.
That was fucking insane. Sorry.
Definitely very, very scary.
Yeah, just trying to pull that up right now. Let's see if I can get that.
My asshole was puckered on that one.
Oh, man.
Because, dude, the gap grind, like literally just gap double peg on that rail was pretty scary because it's a slight downhill run up and, like, you know, you want to go perfect speed. You don't want to go too fast because the bottom part is really, really steep, too. So on the first gap double peg that I did, Sauce was filming it for Instagram, and I ended up doing the double peg, but I landed kind of short on the rail, kind of on the flat, kind of on the down. So I came off to the left side, but I was fucking hauling ass at the bottom of that thing. And I just went straight into Sauce. Like we did that thing where you're walking down a hallway and you're like looking at somebody trying to see which way you're going to go, which way you're going to go. We did that, but I hit him with some force and he went down to the ground. It was like, whoa, like he got rocked. He almost got knocked out from that.
Jesus, man. Yeah, that would fucking suck. Whenever I was filming, I always, I filmed like 2 full-length videos, and when I would film, I would almost never go like in front, and if I was, I would have like long lens on, and there was definitely a couple times where I'd be, running the fuck away. I had a couple bikes fly at me, that's for sure.
It happens. It's pretty fucking funny when it does.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless it's the camera or the flash or something like that. And it's pretty shitty. But.
Yeah, that's always the worst feeling. So the banger clip for that, or the ender, I guess you could say, was this huge tooth hanger on like the steepest fucking rail ever. So I'll pull that up now. This absolutely blew my mind. It's like one of these apartment complex rails where it just doesn't make any sense. There's a huge drop on the other side. Like any time that I've seen anybody try those, even just to pegs them, they always get fucked up. So how did you?
They're fucking sketchy, man. That rail is only, it's like a small square, so it's not even like a good rail at all. But it was, again, in a little shitty town, a little rail that nobody wants to ride, and we're passing through, so I couldn't let that clip go. That rail was perfect.
How many attempts did you have at that? Just 2 or 1?
The hanger took a couple tries, and the feeble was like first go, I guess. I think
Jesus.
the Placebo was first go.
Dude, that hanger feels like it should be fucking one and done, you know? Like, if you don't
Yeah,
land it, it's gotta fucking suck.
yeah, and it definitely did. Like I'm looking at it right now. I did the hanger, and it was just so much force when I hit the ground because that rail's so steep, you know. I
Oh,
was at the ground and
absolutely.
like bounced off to the left and then rolled in this sketchy alley. Cut myself up a little bit, and got right back up there and fucking handled it.
Yeah, insane, dude. Like, there's a clip that I think the Come Up posted a while ago of this dude trying one of those apartment complex rails and just fucking like eats it so hard. And those are always the scariest fucking things to watch. But I think the only pros that I've ever seen actually ride those and be able to like be good and do fucking impressive tricks on them were like you, Colt Fake, and Van Homan, and that's it.
Fucking A, those are two gangsters right there.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. Um, so yeah, all overall, dude, the grime bars, like ad or whatever it was, the grime tour video was incredible. Like just the most
Thank you,
intense
man.
riding. Was that the most recent video that you filmed, other than all the smoke? Or no, that wouldn't have been.
Yeah, I think it was.
I was gonna say it was quite a. I feel like it was probably a while ago because you've had those bars on the market for a while now.
Shit, man, I'm looking at the date. It's almost 2 years ago.
Damn.
Wow, I need to get back out there. I mean, I've been working on stuff with Scott and with Sauce, and now I'm actually working on a new video with Sauce.
Hell yeah,
I
dude.
do basically another grime tour. We're doing another road trip all across America because I actually have a frame coming out here pretty soon.
That's fucking sick. I can't wait to see that.
So
How long have you known Sauce for? Because it seems like you guys are like best friends.
he's about 15 feet away from me in his room right now.
That's
I live
awesome.
in his house. This is Sauce is definitely like one of my best friends for sure. He's the one who really got me into this whole BMX thing seriously because I moved out here to California maybe 8 years ago now, probably. Almost, actually, 9, because it was November of 2011. So I moved out here then, and then I didn't know anybody in California. I came here from Arizona and just had my bike, was pedaling around the town, and then rolled up to my high school, checked all the spots out there, met 3 random kids that were out there riding bikes. Just one kid named Chaz Lamasa, another kid, Cole Wilson, and then Seth Rodriguez. Met them, and then Chaz Lamasa ended up introducing me to Sauce because he knew Sauce. He had already been filming with Sauce, and they were working on a video and stuff. So once he introduced me to Sauce, I went over to his house. He had dirt bikes and old cars and all kinds of shit, so we hit it off immediately. And then, yeah, like since then, pretty much inseparable.
Hell yeah, man. Honestly, your friendship, like with you two, is awesome. I fucking love watching your Instagram stories where you're like trying to get them to jump a fucking dirt bike or just, the random shit that you guys do. It honestly makes for a really good combination of when you're filming too. Cause like, with me filming, I always found that if you're really close with the rider, you can, really support them a lot different than like if it's somebody you're not really that close with, like you really can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sauce knows exactly what I'm capable of, and if I say I want to do something and he's like, no, that's not good enough. Do this, like add this to it or something. Like he knows what I can do, and he also has a really, really good eye for spots. And he sits there and spot searches all day, and he's like, hey, I got this spot for you. You could do something. Or he knows what I like to ride. So yeah, like you said, it does make for a really good combo, and I really like doing Sauce because. Yeah, that motherfucker knows how to push me. He really knows how to make me do something that I really don't want to do. If I'm scared of it, he's right there to be like, hey, you ain't no bitch. Get up there and fucking do it.
Hell yeah.
Or he'll make a bet with me or something.
And something that I want to mention too is that like, Sauce is incredible when it comes to filming and editing as well. Like, the stuff that you guys have done is awesome. And that really adds to it as well as like just the trust coming from a rider that's being filmed, right? Like you don't want to be filming with somebody that isn't, ready to
100%.
film or isn't fucking hyped on what you're doing. Like I've been in that position where like, I've tried to film clips for my videos and I have my friends filming for me and they just don't know what they're doing with the camera. And it's no offense to them,
Yeah,
right?
and
Like
it
it's
just
not,
don't come out. Yeah,
yeah,
don't come out the way you want it to. It's not right. But
yeah,
yeah, Sauce, I can trust 100% of the time. Like, I say, "Are you good?" He says, "Yeah." All right, that means it's on. Like, fucking right now, I'm doing it right here. I'm not running up at it. We're fucking doing it right now. I hate running up. If I'm running up at something, that means I'm like really, really scared.
that's a really good mindset to have. For me, I've always been that fucking bitch that takes like 20 minutes to really think it over and figure out how I'm going to do it. But I always end up landing
Yeah,
stuff pretty much first try. But like, I just hate that because like you're just psyching yourself out, like a lot of the
yeah,
stuff too.
exactly. That's what it is, man. Fuck thinking. Thinking is poison.
Yeah. And it's definitely,
Fucking gun it.
it's really fucked me over on a couple things because there was this huge fucking clip that I wanted to get, and it would have been one upping John Heaton, who's everybody knows who John Heaton is, first guy ever to do a backflip to manual. Well, he's actually from the Kitchener area where I am, and he did this huge fucking like transfer off of like the top of a parking garage, probably like second story, over a set of stairs into this huge grass hill, just like big gap. I wanted to go and
God
T-bog
damn.
it. Yeah, I wanted to T-bog it, and like I probably could have done it. I feel like I was definitely would have been outside of my comfort zone, but like I do big shit pretty often anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should have done it instead of just thinking and running up to it because I ended up never doing it, and the spot got ripped out, and it's changed now. And it's basically impossible to do it there.
Yeah, and now you feel like a big pussy or what?
Oh, absolutely, every day.
It's all right, man. Fuck it. We've all got those clips that, just got away from us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe even something that you tried, and then it was like, I'm never, ever trying that again, but fuck, I want to do it so bad.
Yeah, definitely that as well. Yeah, it's really good to have somebody that's able to push you like that, and be able to like
For sure.
feel comfortable actually just going at it first try as well.
Hmm.
Hell yeah. So let's talk about the Monster Mash video. And this was your first ever video part, was it not?
It was going to be, but then actually Stranger No Hype came out before that, so that one ended up being my first part, I believe.
Okay. But you had started filming. Did you start filming the Stranger video before Monster Mash?
No, definitely not, because I was definitely filming the Monster Mash, working on it already. And then I got put on Stranger, and then they were like, hey, we're filming. Oh, actually, they didn't even say they were filming a DVD or nothing. We were just out filming all the time. And then by the time enough footage came around, they ended up turning it into a DVD.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that was my first video part. And then Monster Mash was my second one.
And dude,
Monster Mash, I'm fucking so proud of. Like, that was incredible. An incredible 5 years of my life.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And like when you actually take the time to film over the course of, a couple years, like the most I've done is 3 years, and our videos, honestly, I like them. I think they're pretty decent, but putting that much effort into it really helps too, because then you've got so much time to really figure out what clips are the best. We could have 100% made a whole other DVD of the stuff that we didn't take for the last video, Space Goats, that we made, where like it's just not even worth putting into the video because it's just not up to par with how we were at then,
Mm-hmm. Dude, well, that's kind of why Monster Mash took so long. Like, we were so young when we started filming that. Like, what? Some of us were 15, some of us were 14, probably. By the time we finished it, we were all close to the 20s.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the crazy...
just ever progressing. It was impossible for Jacob to finish his part because one freaking week he was out doing longer nose manuals and fucking crazier bar spins.
Yeah, and just... on top of that too, you can really see how long that video took to make because like certain clips in that video, you look so fucking young. And on top of that, certain clips, you're wearing a helmet, which you haven't worn a helmet in quite a while, I'd say, unless it's like something gnarly, like a loop, right? Like
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the helmet.
Hey
Just a
man,
couple,
I'm not
couple
hating.
days, I felt like I needed it.
For me, it's always been like, if you're an adult, it's your choice to make. Like, some people say it's a stupid decision. I'm definitely on the fence about that. Like you should wear one, but at the
Yeah,
end of the day, it's your fucking body. Nobody should tell you how to ride. If that's the way you want to ride, then be like fucking 75% of the street riders out there that don't wear one. That's kind of how it
yeah,
comes down to. Um,
but yeah. I've definitely taken some slams to my head that I wish I didn't, but
oh,
it is
absolutely.
what it is. We're still out here living large.
There you go. Got to pay to play, right? So,
Yes,
um,
sir.
So at 4:55 in your video part, you did this huge over pegs on or not huge, I guess, but it was a over pegs on a flat rail, and then you did a pegs down a handrail with a manual out on a ledge that's right next to it. And that just showed like how good you are at using an actual spot. So I'll play that now. Do you know what clip I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so. I'm wearing like a blue shirt.
I believe
Blue shirt,
so.
blue bike, maybe.
Yep, blue shirt, blue bike.
It's
Yeah,
like an over pegs, flat to down.
yeah, and
Yeah, and it curves to the left.
yes, it does. And then there's a huge hanger right after that too, which is just fucking so crazy, man. Um, so like you
Yeah, I
said
love that
earlier,
little overgrind clip.
when you go to spots, typically you just kind of, think of the trick right then and there, or the spot tells you what you should be doing. Was that an instance of that where like with that over pegs down manual, was that just something where you're like, this is the perfect setup for that?
Oh, 100%. I didn't know the manual was going to happen at all. That was totally like spur of the moment. Right when I blasted off the kink, I was like, "Ooh, I feel good, do a little manual real quick." But yeah, no, that was totally one of those spots that it was like on the right side, there was a rail that you could do peg. Actually, no, you could do left side pegs on the flat to hop down the set if you really want to do. But I'm a right side peg grinder, so all I saw was that overgrind. Even though it was kind of a hard angle and definitely made it a bit sketchy, but yeah, the spot told me I had to do it.
And it is seriously the best usage of a spot, like you used every inch of it, which is sweet.
That's the whole goal. I mean, nowadays I look up to Dakota Roche and like Reed I look up to a lot because those two motherfuckers right there, those boys know how to use a spot. Every little nook and cranny, like it's insane. So that's kind of how I ride now. Try to find a little niche to hop in or find something to bump jump off. Use every little thing that you can around that spot because it just looks so much better on camera.
Oh,
'Cause at the end of that clip, it's not just, oh, okay, he landed on flat ground and rolled away. It's like, holy shit, and he half cabbed off the curb or, whatever.
absolutely. And it just adds to your style too. And
A
something
little
with,
bit of spice.
yeah, with Dakota Roche, I feel like, he is such a legend in BMX and he's been around for fucking years now. Like, I think the first time I saw any of his footage was like 10 years ago, and it was a Fit Life video where he does a 180 over a rail, but he catches his front tire on the rail and fucking lands face first in a puddle.
Oh, that's in Huntington Beach. That's in this town.
Damn.
In his hometown. That's where I live right now. Like, Dakota Roche is one of the first pros that I ever met or even really, like, heard of and started watching videos of, because I came out to California, met Sauce, and he was always watching videos and shit. And, like, that's somebody that he always used to watch. So he got me into Dakota Roche. And now I could say with 100% confidence that Dakota Roche is my favorite rider.
Absolutely. And like you can really see where people pull stuff from certain riders, right? Like you can 100% tell that the way that you ride, you have, added in like, I don't know, just his style as well, or his mindset on being able to ride every inch of a spot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
the wall ride king, and now all I want to do is wall ride, so I blame him.
Yeah, there's some fucking crazy wall rides from him. Like just insane.
Yeah.
Do you watch the 9 Club at all? Do you know what the 9 Club is?
I do know what the 9 Club is, but I don't really watch anything, honestly. I don't really watch anything or listen to much podcast.
No, that's okay.
I mostly just, throw some music on, go out in the backyard and just work.
So Dakota Roche went on the 9 Club about a year ago, I think, to clear the air on like, I don't know. I think one of the dudes on the Nine Club was just talking shit about BMX, and Dakota Roche went on and
Oh
like,
yeah, I heard about this.
yeah, Dakota Roche went on and really put a good name in for BMX riders, you know? And like, it sucks because about a year later, fucking Steve Caballero, he came in and was talking shit again with the half cab stuff. And like, that's
Yeah.
always kind of sad, you know, where I'm like, these dudes, you know, like I always find that BMX guys, they really look up to skaters as well as BMX riders. Like, I know so many bike
Yeah.
riders that know so many people that skate, you know, like we really like have built our culture
Well,
around theirs as well.
hell
And
yeah. I
like,
mean, dude, walk into any BMX house and guess what's on the TV when the YouTube's playing?
oh,
Skate
dude,
videos.
absolutely, all the time. I have countless fucking skate posters on my desk in here. Like, you know, I'm a huge fan of skateboarding. My dad's a skater, and like, you know, I think that it's BMX and skating are definitely different, but they're a lot alike. And it's always really
Mhm.
sad to me that like most of the time what I hear from skaters is that they just don't pay attention to BMX, they don't care about it. When it's like, I don't know, I feel like you should look at both aspects of it and see how it works together, you know? Like there's definitely
Yeah.
some skaters that you can tell have watched BMX videos and thought, I need to be doing that shit on my skateboard.
Yeah. Fucking A. You ain't lying. There's definitely some skaters out there that, fuck with BMX heavily.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
Chris Cole. Chris Cole's basically on Colt.
Yeah, well, he owns like a quarter or a third of Cult, I believe, which is pretty
Does
fucking
he really?
cool. Yeah, yeah, he owns a good portion of it.
Oh
That's
shit.
how.
Well,
So,
that makes sense.
um, I think it was like right when Cult had started, or like a year after Cult had started, they went out to the Barracks, which is like an indoor skate park that's owned by Steve Barra and Eric Costin. It's like a private place. But they went out there, and that's how they got the hookup. Was because Chris Cole, obviously, he owns part of Cult, so he just said, "Hey, can I bring my bike crew in here?" And they were fine with it. And Chris is actually pretty fucking good on a bike too, you know, like at least for a
Yeah.
skater.
Yeah, he's
Um,
sick. Yo,
yes.
you know what's sick about Steve Cab?
What's up?
Well, actually, not sick about Steve Cab, but what's funny about Steve Cab? He's got a trophy made by a BMX rider in his house.
Yeah, you built it, didn't you? That's that Vans
Yeah,
trophy.
that
Yeah,
Protect Full Party trophy that he's got on his mantle. That's your boy.
that's hilarious, dude. I'll pull up a photo of that. I actually have that here on my computer. I thought that
I'm
was
stoked on
super
those things.
cool, man. Um, let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll jump back into this video. How did you get started into doing these miniature spots and whatnot? Like these are super fucking cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm kind of a borderline hoarder. I, if I see some fucking wood on the ground that looks like, oh shit, I can make something out of that, then I'll just like kind of hang on to it until I figure something out. But I was working at this door factory where we were producing tons of wood trash, but they were all like weird custom little scrap chunks of really nice, high quality wood. So I thought it was trash and I couldn't see it go to waste, so I started cutting that shit up. One day I decided to make a little, like a 10-stair hubba, and then I drilled holes in it and I put my Allen wrenches there. So it was just like an Allen wrench rack, And that was the first one that I ever made. I posted that on the Instagram. People were like, whoa, that's fucking sick. Whoa, can you make me one? Can you make a fingerboard spot? Blah, 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 blah. So once I realized that there was an interest in that shit and an interest in fingerboard spots and they wanted to see more of it, I just had endless trash to play with and endless breaks. So I was like, fuck it. Break time. I'm making something right now. And just started making little shit and selling it. And then one day Eddie told me that there was actually a fingerboard contest like 3 miles from my house. I was like, all right, fucking A, when's that? He said, it's about a week from now. I spent that whole week making fingerboard stuff and took it there and sold every single thing first day. And then that's when I was like, okay, this shit's sick. I really like doing this.
Hell
and then,
yeah.
Just started making more and more.
That is fucking cool, man. Let me see if I have Pat Casey's ramp on here. I thought I had it. Oh, I
Dude,
didn't send it.
Crazy.
Dude, okay. So what's crazier is that a really good friend of mine, Jordan Bonifacio, he actually built Pat Casey's ramp. So like to
Hell
be,
yeah.
dude, to sit here and be on the phone with you and like have, you built the perfect little replica of his ramp is just so fucking cool, And he was super
Yeah.
hyped on that. I was talking to him about that a couple weeks ago. And
He's seen
like,
it.
oh yeah, I think his ramp company is called Ride and Ramp Co. He actually did an episode of the podcast recently, and
Right on.
yeah, he loved it. He thought that was awesome that you had built that. I know that.
Well, cool. Then he must appreciate it. I must have got it close enough to where he recognized it.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't tell the difference, honestly. There's
Dude, that
so
thing was
much.
hard to build. It took fucking way longer than I thought it was going to be.
It just blows my mind how much like detail is put into these spots, Like I'll pull up another photo here. This is I don't know what stair set this is, but it's not the Hollywood High. It's got 4 rails. The one rail is cut at the bottom. It looks like it's probably a Huntington spot.
Does it have a staircase in the background of it too?
Yes.
Like in that photo, yeah. So that little deal is just a replica of that spot that's right behind it, and that's Ocean View High School. That's a school that's like one of the first schools that I rode in California and really loved. One of my favorite schools.
Did you end up selling
an 8-stair handrail, a 10-stair handrail, and an 11-stair handrail? All pristine, fucking perfect rails.
Hell yeah. Did you end up selling that one to somebody then?
No, that was a trophy for our first Common Crew Jam. We did a Common Crew street ride through Huntington Beach to all the famous spots that have just been blown out in every single video. Every clip ever has been filmed. So we threw on a street ride one day and took everybody out there, and it started raining at that spot. And this kid, Preston, does a manual 180 down the 11 stair. Like, tried it a bunch of times, and it was pouring. It started to pour rain when he landed it.
Whoa, dude.
Crazy.
That is fucking wild, eh?
There was another kid that was out there trying to tire ride the motherfucker in the rain.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is so nuts.
Dude. It was a sick jam. We definitely need to do another one of those pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely fucking... That's insane. I love the fact that it was a trophy, too,
Yeah. Well, fuck. Those are the ones that mean the most to me, honestly. Like, I don't even care about building the replica for money or whatever. Like, that's why I kind of stopped doing the fingerboard side of things. Because all those kids are just fucking little punks. They're like, hey, man, how much for this half pipe? And then I give them a killer deal. And then they're like, don't reply or just say, like, oh, no, that's too much. It's like, man, it's like kind of art, kind of not.
It absolutely is,
I definitely want to charge art prices if I'm going to sit there and put real fucking time and effort into it. And like you said, do all those little details and shit that brings it all together.
And there is, dude, there's so much detail, like when you look at the way the bricks are put on there and everything, like the way the handrails are fucking set up, like it just blows my mind how like perfect these actually come out.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Definitely might hit you up on one of those soon if you're still doing them. We'll see.
Fuck yeah. I'm about to get back into it because Jerry Batters just hit me up and asked me to build some trophies for the Rebel Jam.
Hell yeah.
Up, so.
Oh, and
yeah,
you built...
I'm stoked to get back into it.
You built the trophies for the Undercover Jam that Brian and Van were doing, right?
Yeah, that was another sick one. They just BK hit me up and he was like, hey, I know you build trophies. Your shit's sick as fuck. Would you be interested in building us some stuff for this contest in Tokyo? And I was like, hell yeah, what are you thinking? And he's like, I don't know, maybe just like a parking curb or something. And then we started bouncing ideas off each other, and I came up with like 12 trophies for him or something like that. He was stoked as fuck. He posted it all up. I was fucking smiling ear to ear, man. I couldn't believe he hit me up for that because he's another fucking legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
I look up to that dude big time.
And I think he's going to be coming on the show soon, too. I've hit him up, and we're just trying to plan stuff out. We were going to do it, and then he went over to, I think it was, I forget where he was. I think it was China or something. It was pretty recently.
Yeah, and he got stuck there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he is either stuck or that he just got back, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, this quarantine shit is driving me nuts.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I've been off work for like almost 2 weeks now, which is pretty scary because like I don't make any money from YouTube or doing these podcasts. It actually costs me
Yeah,
like probably close to 300-400 bucks a month just to be doing all of this stuff. But I do it because
I
I
believe
love
it.
it, and like it's a little scary because I still have rent to pay. I still got everything, but fucking we'll see. I'm sure I'll be able to
Yeah,
be. I'm sure I'll make it out of
fuck
this
it.
alive.
Yeah, shit'll come around. I
Yeah,
ain't scared.
yeah,
A
pretty
little,
much.
a little scared.
Oh man. Well, let's
But yeah,
go.
no. Tonight will actually be the first time that I've worked since the 11th.
Really?
Yeah, so that's like what, fucking 20, 15 days, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. Here in Canada too, it is not slowing down. Like at least where I am in the province of Ontario, it is like they are going all fucking balls to the wall in this, being very, very careful. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people are out of work. I think the first day that like everybody was, off of work, there was over like 500,000 fucking people requested employment insurance, so like that's already
Fuck.
fucking everything up, and tax season
Yeah.
is like just happened, right? So I just got my tax return back, which is nice, but like gonna lose out a bunch of money now that I wanted to use. So what do you do? Um, let's go back to Monster Mash though. So at 5:50 or at 5:37 in your video part, you do this huge wall ride from a bank to a chain link fence, and I'll pull the clip up now, but it just blew my fucking mind because like the fence isn't even connected to anything at the bottom. So like when you hit it, you
Yeah.
go right in. Like I would be so afraid of going right through, at least with the speed and like the momentum you were
Oh man.
carrying into it.
Yeah, that thing was pristine when we got there. It was a nice tight fence. I looked at that thing and was like, oh shit, we got a gap fence here, boys. And they were like, I don't know about that one, dude. I was like, well, fuck, let me just send my body into it and see what happens. Sent it first time. Fence didn't move that much. Felt pretty good and tight. And I was like, okay, I can keep trying this. But then as you try it, that fence gets more and more fucked up. So it was like I was jumping into a wave. I honestly can't even believe that I rolled out of it.
Yeah, it's just so fucking wild. Like I'm rewatching the footage right now, and I didn't notice this until you were talking about it, but I thought that that was like, first or second try because the fence didn't look too damaged, but like now that
Yeah.
I'm really looking at it, you can see that you
Dude.
really fucked that fence up beforehand.
Yeah, no. There's a photo in that clip was actually for Monster Mash, but Jeff Z was there shooting because we were doing a article for Ride BMX back when it was around. It was
Yeah.
the coming of the Common Crew. So everybody was trying to get a photo, and that was like my last day to get a photo. And we ended up at some school in Irvine. I was like, oh, here we go. Found one, Jeff. Come on over here. Set them flashes up, buddy.
You
And
are
we just sent it.
so
So I
fucking
sent it until that fence couldn't have taken another one. Like I think if I would have tried it one more time, the fence would
held
not have
up.
worked for me. It was fucking really, really bad by the time I landed it.
Yeah, the clip here, like I have it paused right when you're like the most into the fence, and your fucking pegs look like they're literally in the holes or they're very close to catching on the
Yeah.
fence.
Dude, I'm like wheels deep in that thing.
Oh,
That's how far that
absolutely.
thing sunk.
Yeah,
Crazy.
insane.
But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite clips of all time. Just because that fence did so much.
Well, I think it says a lot about your riding too, and it just being fucking wild. Like, a lot of the stuff that you're doing is just so next level and so different to what is the norm today, and like I'm not saying that the norm isn't good, but like it's really refreshing to see somebody send big burly shit.
Well, listen, I can't do a manual more than like 10 parking spaces on a good day. So I got to get my clips where I can.
Yeah, fair
Usually I
enough.
just say more speed, less doubt and start cranking it shit.
There you go. All right. So I would really love to talk about your ender here in Monster Mash. I've got the clip ready to go. I don't know what stair set this is, but it's fucking wild. And you do this huge gap to pegs on it. So when did you have the idea to this? And did you have to build this up? Or was this another thing where it was basically just let's fucking get this shit done and you did it right when you got there?
No, this one was one of the ones that I was really, really scared of. This is that rail is actually at Dakota Roche's middle school, and he told me that he used to walk that middle school every single day and like joke with his friends like, got the pegs, grind this rail. And then finally somebody did it, and he was like losing his mind. He gassed me up at the skate park one day about it. I was like fucking melting with happiness. What, dude? What? But anyways, yeah, that rail really, really sketchy. The first time I ever seen a clip on that staircase was actually Trey Jones and Talk is Cheap, I believe. He did a toboggan into the stair set. Or no, he just hopped into the stair set.
I think he did a rail hop over into the stairs.
Yeah, he did like a little thread the needle to fucking gap into the stairs. And I was like, wow, that's sick. And then a couple years later, me being a young asshole who didn't really know much about how to be political in the BMX world, I didn't really know anything about one-ups or anything like that. And Sauce sure as fuck didn't care, so he didn't tell me not to. But one day I was like, oh, I can hop into this stair set. And I was hopping into it. And then all of a sudden I was like, hey, dude, will you film this T-bog? So I T-bogged into the stair set, right? Well, somebody posted that clip or like a photo on Instagram. I think I did. I posted a photo on Instagram, and I tagged Trey Jones, and I tagged Cole. And then after that, me and Trey had beef.
Damn, that fucking sucks, man. I always have a feeling that, like, and I don't mean to be, like, weird about this with Trey, but, like, I always have a feeling like he just doesn't really take, like, you know, jokes very well, or he doesn't really like that kind of stuff where, like, I feel like, you know, you didn't go out there to one-up him on purpose, and I don't really understand the whole thing of getting upset about it. Like, for me, it's all about the evolution of BMX, right? Like, things aren't going to be the way that they were fucking 5 years ago when he filmed there, you know, or like, I guess it would have been 10 years ago. Like, things change, you know, fucking people get better and spots are going to get fucking destroyed. And like, I have a lot of buddies that definitely feel like, you know, they don't show anybody their spots. They don't want to have anybody ride it and do better tricks than them. And like, I get it. 'Cause you know, like one guy in particular, his mindset is that, you know, the spots that you find and the spots that you ride and you include in your video is like half of what your BMX, like, you know, I guess identity should be, is like, these are the kind of spots that you ride and you found those. And like nobody else rides those, but like, I don't know. I just don't agree with that. I think that like, you know, the more that
he's right in a way, but
yeah. And like, I've definitely seen it where like people will go and they'll ride a spot and they'll fucking destroy it. And then like, it ends up just getting capped or ripped out. And like, I can understand that like on, you know, super like really good spots that you don't want to get rid of. Like I could absolutely see that, but yeah,
you definitely don't always want to give the pin, but if it's already a spot that's been ridden to hell, then fucking give that pin up.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to see, you know, something even crazier happen at this like stair set, and I'm sure you would feel the same way.
Yeah. But Trey's sick as fuck, man. And
oh, absolutely.
I don't know. I still think about that shit all the time, and it's funny to me now, and it's funny to him. Like, we're totally good. That was like unspoken beef that I just thought was there. But
yeah.
A couple years later, fast forward, and I'm still looking at this fucking rail thinking, like, shit, gap pegs is possible. Like, I've been out here doing gap pegs. I love the goddamn trick. Gap pegs feels better than normal pegs. More speed, less doubt. So one day I was like, all right, Sauce, it's go time. Like, get that camera. Let's go. Let's get to the school. Let's fucking look at it. Like, I seriously think I want to try it today. We all go there. There's like 3 angles set up, ready. I'm just losing my mind at the top of the set. So scared. I keep running up, psyching myself out. But, I mean, it's understandable. That fucking thing is scary at the top. And the run-up was really, really shitty. Like, I had to roll through grass and dirt and, like, do a little bump jump and then go towards a blind gap pegs. So it was, like, really nerve-wracking. But I finally worked up a little bit of courage and was like, okay, this is the one, boys, right here. Turn around, go back, do the little bump jump through the grass thing, get on it, go for the gap pegs, and then while I'm in the air, I say, oh, shit, I'm fucking scared. Decided to, like, kind of turn off. So I landed firecracker on the stairs, and then all of a sudden one of my pegs clips in upright of that rail, and I just slam into the bottom, flat ground.
Oh my God, that would fucking suck. That would be so rough.
It really wasn't that bad, but it was like enough to shake me up, and I was like, all right, fuck this spot. I'm going home right now. Like, I'm glad I'm alive. I'm going home. And then it didn't happen that day at all. I walked away from that and was like, oh, I guess I'll never do that ever. And then one day, for some reason, we're back at that school. There's like a roof spot behind the school at the elementary school, and our buddy's doing a 360 off of it or something. While he's working on that clip, I'm just kind of like riding around, checking out that rail again, because obviously it's in the back of my mind. I'm always thinking about it. And I roll up to it, and that spot where I had to do the little grass bump jump and roll through the dirt thing was paved. It was perfect concrete. Like, it was like they made a sidewalk for me to do this rail. So then I had to go back to Sauce and tell him, dude, I can't believe this shit, but the run-up is perfect up there now, so now I have to do it. And I was so mad. I remember being so mad that I had to do it. Like, our buddy Tack is over there 360ing off a roof, and I'm hyped for him, you know, that's cool. But at the same time, I'm just stuck in my own head so mad that I have to do the gap pegs, because I was not trying to do it that day at all. I was never trying to do it again. And then I just pull up to the rail, and it tells me I had to, because somebody decided to pave a sidewalk.
Man, that guy's a fucking dick, eh? Like, he didn't even know what you went through.
I hate him, man.
So, did you land it first try that day?
I think I hopped into the set a bunch of times, right? Like, probably 5 or 6 times, and was like, all right, fucking go, Tom, boys. And I sent the gap pegs first try. First one I actually went for, I fully committed, didn't bitch out like last time because I didn't want to slam on the ground again. I hit the double peg, and I came off right before the kink.
Damn.
I came off to the left right before the kink, nose dive, and it was fucking really nasty. Fucking threw my back foot in the tire, skidded to a stop, and immediately just ran back up the set as everyone's screaming, like, holy fucking shit. I'm just screaming to myself, like, fuck, do it again, right here. And I go back up to the top, and then I fucking send the one that actually made it into the video, and I landed deep on the rail. Like, I think I went a little too fast on that one, because I landed fucking almost all the way down that thing.
Yeah, I'll rewind here a little bit. You definitely were very, very fucking close to, like, just almost gapping the entire thing. Like, so far. Yeah, fucking huge. You land at least, like, at the middle post there, which is so fucking crazy.
So what you see is probably the same thing that I see. You see that I could probably do, you know, a couple more stairs at the top, a couple more stairs at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Step it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, man.
Maybe one day I'll step it up and hit a bigger one, but
there you go.
Right now I'm going to be a big pussy.
Yeah, you landed so close to the bottom, but here's a question for you.
Backpeg first, too. I almost did an ice pick.
Yeah, you did almost gap ice it. Question for you. There's a rail where I think that's Sauce on the steps filming, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it looks like skinny Sauce, but...
Skinny Sauce, bro.
Anyways, there's a rail right next to him that looks as if it was a kinker that went right to the top. Did you ever think about doing gap pegs on that one, or is that just not at all? Because it was chopped like halfway. Yeah,
nah. I don't think it lined up as good because at the top there's a real gnarly thread the needle type situation. So I think it only kind of lined up for that one that I ended up doing.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was going to say that would have been fucking crazy because you can kind of see the huge gap. But I don't know, though, because I'm like, I think having that rail at the front really shows how fucking crazy that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, man, fucking props to you because that is wild. Like, seriously, insane.
Yeah, I'm stoked on that one, and I think a lot of people are too. I've gotten a lot of compliments on that, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. I'll never do something like that again until I do.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man. So I got a couple more here of video parts, if you don't mind. So
right on, shoot.
On your BSD Forever 2016 video part, there's a clip of you doing a Smith grind on the roof of a moving van. So, or like a,
Good old Barbara.
yeah. So I really
Fuck yeah.
wanted to ask about how you came up with this. Like, was this something where that was already parked there? Because I thought that I had saw a clip of you on a roof very similar to this in a video earlier. So I thought maybe you went out, rented the truck, and brought it there because that would be incredible.
Oh hell no, I didn't rent nothing. That truck lives there. It's still there to this day. If you want to go bust out the Feeble 3 or something. But yeah, no, that thing just lives there. And Sauce actually found that spot and said, "Hey, there's a truck down the way." Like, oh yeah. And then yeah, we went there one day. He said, "Bang it out, buddy. What do you want to do?" I was like thinking about the Feeble because the run-up's really, really short and sketchy up there. I was like, wait, Feeble's not even a good idea, man. We got to bang out the Smith. But I was worried about sticking on it, because if you did a Smith and your front peg got stuck at that height,
Oh, you're fucked.
you might die.
Yeah.
So I was definitely a little worried about that, especially because there's like little reflectors on the side that could hook my tire. But I ended up just fucking waxing the shit out of it and doing it.
Yeah, so you didn't even do any like feebles or anything on it then, eh? Just straight to Smith?
Yeah, Smith first go.
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
I think it took 2 tries. I think the first one, my foot blew off or something dumb, and I was all mad. Had to get back up there and try it again.
Yeah, I absolutely love Sauce's tripod here for his VX, where it's like a fucking case of beer, I think, with like something underneath the camera.
Classic.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh,
He's
man.
the king of the hoodie tripod.
Yeah. It works, man. It looks fucking good. Yeah, I don't know why that clip really stuck out to me, but it was just so fucking crazy. Like, I think it's funny that it is a truck that says Barbara on it, has a nice photo of her.
Yep. Vegan actually got a clip on it after that, too.
Really? What did he do?
He rolled off the roof to into the window, down the front side of it.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw that. I don't know why I didn't think that was the same truck, but...
It totally is. It's sick. I think she got a rewrap on it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. She got a new graphic kit. Good old Barbara.
There you go. Dude, I wonder if, like, Barbara is living in that truck. That would be incredible. She, like, opens the back.
No, she's like a real estate agent or something. She was actually Ethan's landlord, I'm pretty sure.
That's even better. It's like, you do not want to see what we were just doing to your fucking truck.
It wasn't us.
Oh, man. So the clip after that is this fucking crazy double peg grind, or like over pegs on this rail. And in the clip, you like run right into a hydro box at the bottom, and then you did, then you actually got up and pulled it.
I knew I was going to hit that fucking box. Of course. Why would I not hit that box?
Right? It's just because it's
at the
there.
Top of the set, that's the only hazard that's there. Of course I'm going to hit it.
Yeah, of course. Oh, man.
Makes for a good clip, though.
Was that one you had to work up to, or just something that was done so fast?
No, that was one that we just found. The homie Fernando Latsko from Germany was staying out here with Sauce for a couple weeks, and they were filming a video, so I got the chance to, take some time off work and hop in the car with them, and we ended up finding that staircase. It was the first spot of the day. And Fernando wanted to do something, and I wanted to do something. So we both got our clips and got the hell out of there.
Yeah,
little 19 stair for breakfast.
So fucking crazy, dude. That is like such a gnarly set. Now, here's a dumb question for you. Have you ever done anything down El Toro?
Yeah, but you will never see the footage because Francis lost it.
Oh, no. Can we hear what it was?
It's not like a real street trick or nothing. We actually got Sabrosa to hook us up with a bunch of Sabrosa rails. We got like 4 of them, and we had a full day session at El Toro with Sabrosa rails down the middle of it.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. I don't even know where the footage is or how it got lost. But
I feel like there's so much footage there. Like, if you're doing an all-day session, it sucks that it's all gone.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking fun, man. That was the day that Sauce rode up the stair set on a mountain bike and blew up the back wheel.
Hell yeah. Do you live close to El Toro then? Because that's in
I
Huntington,
could
isn't
be
it?
there. I could be there in like 25 minutes if I wanted to.
Damn. Did you were you there when Dylan Stark jumped off the fucking roof on his mountain bike?
I was not. But that shit was fucking crazy. I can't really believe he did that.
I know, like how
Dude,
fucking like can you explain how tall that actually is into where the steps would have been?
that roof, oh man. I would say it's got to be at least like 4 humans tall. No, probably three.
Jesus.
Three 6 foot dudes on top of each other, standing on each other's shoulders.
Whoa.
Could touch the top, probably.
Yeah, that's fucking 18 feet, dude, if they're 6 foot dudes.
Yeah. It's at least. It's got to be right there. I can't. That fucking roof is crazy. I didn't even know it was flat up there. I don't even know how you could get on that roof. Maybe he brought a ladder or something.
I think that he like brought a rope for his bike and then there was a certain way that he climbed up. I don't even remember. I know there's like a full video on YouTube that has like his chest cam running the whole time of him like, looking at it,
Jeez.
them getting kicked out, them coming back like 20 minutes later, him climbing up. There's like cheerleaders off in the corner doing their thing. And I forget who I was talking to about this, but like we really got super interested in the clip, and he was saying that there is so much going on that like it makes the clip even crazier if you watch the like build up to it. Like if you just see the clip online and that's it, like it's already insane, but like the whole build up to it just makes it that much crazier.
Yeah, for sure. That man's a nut.
Yeah, and like there's some old salty BMX dudes that I'm friends with that were like, "Oh, well, why didn't he do it on a BMX bike?" And I'm like, "Cause that fucking bike would have disintegrated. Like, yeah, it's a hill.
Yeah, it
Like,
wouldn't even have
yeah,
happened. He would have got melted.
that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, there's transition, but like, there's no fucking way that you could have pulled that. Like, something would have broke. Like, there's only a certain amount that BMX bikes can take. Like, you have to do it on a mountain bike at that point.
Yeah, I can't even believe the mountain bike held up, honestly.
Oh, I
I'm
know,
surprised he
right?
didn't blow wheels up.
Yeah, insane. Um, but yeah, let's move on to your behind the smoke part here. So behind the smoke was basically it was just the behind the scenes of the OSS video, all the smoke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that video was I was actually really stoked on that. There was really awesome riding from you, Began, Ethan, and a couple of the other dudes that were in there.
Thanks,
Oh,
man.
I forget his name, but he's got like the blonde hair and he did a flare on this wall when the security guards were there. That was an awesome
Oh,
clip.
Alfredo.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Dude, that security guard was heated.
Yeah, he was fucking pissed. Like, and like I love Sauce's attitude when it comes to security guards because I think it was your Monster Mash part. This dude on a like golf cart comes around. He's like, "Hey, we're fucking calling the cops if you don't leave right now." Sauce is like, "Okay, call him. Bye."
Yep.
Yeah, he has like the best attitude when it comes to fucking just telling security guards to leave, right? Like no bargaining, no like, oh, fucking give us 20 minutes. So he's like, just fucking call them now. Like we'll be gone
Yeah,
by the time
call
they
him.
get here.
We'll get the 20 minutes we need. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, we
So
definitely know how it works because all we do is get kicked out in California. Go to school, drive there 2 hours, get kicked out.
that's fucking crazy. At least you get 2 hours. Like most of the time we get fucking 10, 20 minutes at spots around here. Like I've gone to countless spots where like we set up in the car and fucking only two of us go and like, one dude films, the other guy tries the trick and that's it. Like you got to get it within 10
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. That's a mission shit.
Yeah, that's for sure. So in the video, you guys had the epic BMX van, right?
Yup.
Yeah,
Fucking
so
shout out Epic. They
there-
just said, hey, here's our van. Drive as many miles as you want. We put like 6,000 miles on it that trip.
Jesus. But there's this clip of fucking you, and it's so random, but it's like you walking with these two chicks, and then you get them inside the van. Where did you meet these girls, dude?
I met them on Tinder. Well, I met one of them on Tinder.
That's hilarious. So then they just both showed up, I guess?
Well, okay, here's how it went down. I matched this random girl, and then she messaged me. She goes, "Are you for real, the Denim Cox?" I was like, "Yeah, baby." She said, oh my God, please ruin me. So so I seen that and I was like, bring it on, baby. And then we were just talking or whatever, and I told her to bring a friend for Sauce or for somebody else up in the hotel room. And then I like hit her up again and was like, hey, actually don't bring your friend. Like, fuck it. Don't matter. Let's just hang out. And then she was like, okay, well, I'm already coming. She gets in her car and drives 70 miles from her house to where I am and shows up with her friend. She says, oh, well, I'm bringing my friend. I was like, oh, okay. So she drove that far, came, brought her friend, and then, yeah, I was just like, hey, you guys want to check out the van immediately? Because way better than taking them up to the hotel room with a bunch of guys in it.
Yeah. Oh, I just love that. Like, I love that they get in and you just fucking shut the door. Like, I don't know why it's so funny, but oh fuck.
Shit, yeah, definitely. Dude, wow, sorry. An Easy Up just flew out of our front yard all over this car that we're working on.
Oh no.
Yeah, fucking it. But yeah, no, those girls are hot. They're fucking awesome.
That's fucking wild.
Definitely under 200 pounds, which is sick.
Yeah, you can hear Sauce in the background. Like, I think it was Ethan or whoever he's on the phone with.
Yeah, it was Ethan and Began just talking shit. They go, oh, they're definitely under 200 pounds.
Oh, that's sick. How
long?
long?
I had no idea what this girl was going to look like. She kind of looked fat on Instagram, no lie.
Yeah.
We're all sitting there joking like, dude, this might be a 300-pound hog. She's coming 70 miles to come slobbing out of Luna. So, you know, I was going to do it either way. If it was a 300-pounder, I was still going to do it. But, no, it was sick that she was under 2 and brought her friend.
So, answer the question for us. Anything happened that night? Don't gotta go into details, just yes or no.
Yeah, that would be my first threesome right there.
Oh, dude, that's incredible. Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. Moving on from that. So there's a clip of you jumping off the side of this fucking like walkway 12 feet below into a river onto like this fucking, you know, water tube that you took from a water park. So,
oh yeah, Colorado, baby.
I know that Alfredo did a video online where, you know, it's really behind the scenes and you can really, you know, you explain everything pretty well there, but do you want to just give us the short version of it and what happened and what went down?
You need to help Eddie get that fucking Easy Up off your car. It's all over right now. Sorry, I had to wake Sauce up from his midday slumber.
All good.
Okay, say that again. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So there's a clip of you jumping off that thing into the water. Can you just, you know, give us some backstory on that? Like, I know that there's a full video on YouTube and whatnot, but I just love that clip.
Yeah. Dude, there's a killer spot right there in the middle of downtown Denver. Like, I can't think of another city that just has a river flowing through it, like a wild river just flowing through it. And all I wanted to do was float down that river. So I seen a water park down the way, not too far. I pedal over there, you know, see if I could find a tube outside that place somewhere, try to steal it and go float down the fucking river. That was my whole goal. But as it turns out, there's not even one tube hanging out around there. So I had to either A, hop a fence, risk getting touched by security, or B, go to the front and see if I can get somebody to hook me up or something. So I go to the front of that place, and I find this dude that works at the water park. I'm thinking, yo, he's from Colorado. He's out here smoking weed, working at a water park. He don't give a fuck, you know? So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, dude, can you hook me up with a tube? I want to float down that river back there. Just go throw it over the back fence. I'll be waiting. He says, all right, man, give me $20. Like, all right, fuck it. Gave him $20, you know, hoping he would come through like a good guy. Didn't come through. So I'm just waiting at this back fence for a tube to come over that never came. And then I pedal back to the front. I go looking for this dude that I gave $20 to. And I, like, find the smoking section of the water park. And I see this motherfucker through a little crack in the fence. And I just, like, put my eyeballs there and say, hey, motherfucker, where's my $20 or where's my tube? And then he's like, oh, shit. Yo, you want to just come in? You just want to come in? And it's like, fuck no. I want you to give me a tube like you said you were going to do it. And then he ended up just letting me in the water park instead. I was like, fuck it, let me in. So I go in the water park with my bicycle, and I'm running through this water park, or like I'm walking through it with my bike, you know, and I get over to the back fence, and I find these tubes, grab a tube, chuck it over the back fence, and now I'm like, all right, good, I'm good, I'm out. I get on my bike, and I start pedaling through the water park towards the exit gate, and all of a sudden these fucking other dudes the other dudes that work there see me, and they're like, hey. And I like slow down. I'm like, yo, what? They're like, what are you doing? How'd you get in here? What is this? Why do you have the bike? Blah, 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 blah. And then at that point, I was like, oh, fuck. I'm just like walking with them towards the security office. They're trying to walk me in to arrest me, and I'm just like looking everywhere for exits, quick exit strategies. They're like blocking all the doorways and shit. And they take me into this little back room. And then that's where they tell me I'm not getting arrested, but I am getting banned from the water park for 2 years. So that day I got banned. But after they let me out of that thing, I went right to that back fence where I threw the tube over. Boom. I floated down the river.
Oh, man. I love the fact that, like, if you guys go on YouTube, look up Alfredo's YouTube channel, but you guys are, like, you know, looking at it after you've already been kicked out. Like, you've already went here and done everything that you wanted to do. Then you're going and explaining the whole story afterwards, and one of the fucking water park workers comes over and starts, like, you know, kind of being weird with you guys, but then she ends up...
Yeah, she says, hey, do I need to call the police or something like that? And we're like, no.
Oh, it's so good. I like that you're like, yeah, we're thinking about coming here tomorrow and everything. Meanwhile, you were fucking banned an hour ago.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's what I told them in the office, too. Like, I said, hey, I'm on a trip here from California. Like, I have 5 of my friends. I was just in the water park checking it out, seeing if it was worth coming to spend my money. I found an open gate. That's how I got in here. I didn't snitch the dudes who let me in now or nothing. I just told them, like, yo, I found an open gate, and I went right through that motherfucker. I was just checking out what was going on here. And they believed my story somehow and let me go. Thank God.
Oh, man. So fucking cool.
I really don't want to get arrested. That's like a goal in my life, to not get arrested.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. There's a couple of years ago, there's a water park in town. I actually live kind of close to it now, but we tried to go and fucking ride these water slides there. And the owner fucking caught us while we were, like, jumping the fence, which really sucks because, like, the way that this water slide was set up was that, like, it's essentially a 20-foot quarter pipe with, like, 200 feet of run-up, and then you could also go up and, like, ride down this transition into it. And I don't know if you know who Corey Walsh is, but...
Oh, yeah.
Corey actually used to live, like, probably 20, 30 minutes from where I do, and he rode this water slide. And I think that's how, like, you know, they posted it online, and then we had already known that it was around, and, like, we had already planned on going there. So we waited, like, you know, a month or two, went out there, and he caught us pretty much instantly. So I think that they had found the photos of Corey, or that, like, you know, they probably found people riding it and then fucking up security, because they were on us quick. Like, you know, they waited until we jumped the fence, and the second that, like, I jumped last with my camera gear, they fucking stormed us from, like, every angle. But we ended up, only one of us got arrested, and the other 3 got away, which was really cool. Like, me with my fucking bike and my 70-pound camera bag, I managed to get away, which is incredible. Like, I did not think that was going to happen. Another buddy, he was fine. Another guy was fine. The one guy that did get caught had a bunch of weed in his bag, and this was when weed wasn't actually, like, legal in Canada yet. So it was, like, I think a year before it was legalized from, like, border to border here.
Yeah.
But, you know, what's crazy is that because the fucking cop fucked up his paperwork for the actual, like, trespassing, he ended up not getting charged with the weed, because I don't know if it's, like, a weird rule here, but if the initial charge that you did isn't, like, I guess pressed, or, like, if that gets thrown out, then so does the other one, because they wouldn't have caught you with weed had they not arrested you in the first place for it.
Oh, that's bitching.
Yeah, so
what a champion.
Really fucking weird. But anyways, the dude who got caught, he's at his house the one day, and fucking court summons comes to give him his paperwork, and none other than fucking John Heaton is giving him his trespassing paperwork for riding fucking BMX.
Oh man.
Yeah, it honestly,
Wow.
it doesn't even sound fucking real. Like, it's just so weird, but that's what John does now, is that he's like a court summons guy, or he works in some like legal aspect of the law.
People. Yeah.
Yeah, which is super weird, eh? Like, to see that, but yeah, interesting.
Everybody's got their hustle.
Pretty
I'm pretty sure
much.
you can make good money serving people too.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm gonna go back here. There's one more clip I wanted to talk about, and then just a few little things, but we'll end it off pretty soon. So there's a clip of you riding this fucking Lime scooter, and I absolutely love that. I don't know why, but you end up snapping it in half. And I had a question for you. When you break one of these, did your credit card get charged for it, or just never actually heard anything about it?
That ain't the first one I broke, and it definitely wasn't the last one either. I've probably broken 4 of them in half.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think, it's just part of their deal. I think they actually build these scooters, and they plan the scooter to be alive for like 19 days or something weird, I think they make their money, and then they don't care about the scooter.
Yeah.
Things get abused by every single person. You see people throwing them off bridges and shit. They don't link it to your credit card. No way. All you do is you take a photo of a different scooter. I don't know if you've ever ridden a Lime, but like when you get on the Lime, you have to use your phone to unlock it, and then when you park it, you have to use your phone to lock the scooter, and then you have to take a photo of the scooter to validate parking, to make sure you parked it like good in a good area or whatever.
Okay.
So you just throw one off a fucking bridge and then take a photo of a different one, and then they can't prove shit.
That's yeah.
Somebody could walk up right behind you and snap that thing right after you were done riding it,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually, because I was going to say, like, around here we have rental bikes, and they were testing the Lime scooters around here, but I think that the city was, like, not cool with it, so they ended up getting rid of them. But, yeah, it kind of makes sense. They can't really charge you for it, because who knows, maybe you didn't actually do anything to break it, and the last person that was on it already fucked it up, so...
Yeah, or somebody put it in the middle of the street and then rammed it with their truck or something like that. Like anything could happen.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
kind of a gray area where they can't really fuck with you too much.
Yeah,
Maybe if they found that clip, they could fuck with me, but...
I know, I'm like, it's so funny that, like, I guess they can't even tell, because realistically, like, if you've broken fucking 4 or 5 of them, if you've sent in that photo, like, they can't even say that it was you that fucking broke them. Like...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. So... let's move on to some other questions here. Just a few, but can you give us your best sauce story? I know that you probably have so many, but I'd love to hear at least one.
Oh, dude. Sauce stories are endless. It's hard to come up with one right on the spot, but I can just tell you the worst thing that Sauce has ever done to anybody.
Absolutely.
No. Oh, man. He's in here. He just walked in right now. I'm just going to tell you the story about what he did to his mother a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, he decided that it was time for him to take a shit. So he walks into the backyard, and he shits right in the middle of his grass, right? Later in the day, he's sitting in the kitchen eating a fucking waffle or whatever he's doing, and he watches his mother pick up the shit with a shovel and throw it away. Because she thought it was the dog.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, then, Sauce, you want to remind me of another horrible story of you? I'm not going to tell everyone how you jerked off at Ethan. Okay.
Oh, dude.
Well, Sauce is like a trash can. He can drink and take whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Just never stop. He's one of those superhumans. Anyways, one day we're in Colorado. Same trip. This is that same Colorado trip. Probably the same exact night that I actually had those girls while I was in the van, maybe. He was upstairs, fucking blacked out. And everybody's, like, fighting him for some reason, like, trying to beat him up and shit. And, like, Ethan pantsed him So now his cock's just out. And then all of a sudden they go upstairs. They're still fucking fighting, and Sauce just starts fucking jerking off. Like, literally, he's on the ground with his pants down because Ethan yanked his fucking pants off, and then he just starts, like, jerking off at Ethan. Defensively, yeah. Trying to not get beat up anymore.
Oh, I fucking love it. That's hilarious, man. Oh, dude, Sauce is the best. I started following him recently, but like
fucking 100%. You
yeah,
should have been following him a long time ago.
I know, dude. I had a moment there. I had a moment there where I literally, like, you know, when I started following him, I would fucking go back every day and just look for like new fucking posts. Oh man.
You see the post we made the other day of him just doing a burnout in the drive-thru?
Yeah, that was hilarious. Oh, I fucking love that. Yeah, Sauce is fucking incredible, man. Sauce is the boss, that's for sure.
Straight up, he earned that title.
Fuck
all
yeah.
3 S's. But recently he stepped down to 2 S's, so he's
there
actually living his best life.
There you go, man.
He had to pay for the 2 S's. The 2 S's were under lockdown for a long time. Some dude had the Instagram name right.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't sell it for like 2 years, and then finally Sauce offered him a dollar amount that he was okay with.
Dude, I kind of want to know how much he spent on that.
I think it was like $50.
That's
Definitely
not too
no
bad.
more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
worth
fucking...
Because now he doesn't have to say Sauce the Boss with 3 S's.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. So, oh, dude, last year your truck got stolen, didn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, what happened there?
My ex-girlfriend definitely, I want to say that she like left the window cracked or something dumb, but I was in Spain and I left it at her apartment complex because she has an assigned parking spot, and my truck should have been in that spot chilling the whole time I was gone. But she decided to drive it one day, and then she parked it in like a guest parking deal, and she left it there for 3 days or whatever. And she thought that somebody towed it. So Valentine's Day, she calls me. She says, "Hey, I got bad news. Your truck got stolen, or your truck got towed or something." I'm like, "Oh my God, like really? Fucking A." And then she's calling tow yards and shit, trying to find the truck, see where it's located. Nobody knows where it is. Can't find it at all. So then we had to report it stolen. And then the day I got back from Spain, I'm laying in bed naked, about to bang her right then and there. The cops call me and they say, "Is this Denim Cox?" Yeah, it is. "Well, we found your truck over here in Garden Grove." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Putting my boxers on one-handed and shit, like trying to go to Garden Grove to find my truck. And I get there and it's at this illegal gambling casino. The battery's stolen. There's piss all over the back of it. Doors open. Hoods pop. Dashes ripped apart. Stereo's gone. Subs gone. Amps gone. But I got my truck. Still had all my wheels on it, and that was pretty fucking cool.
Damn, man, that fucking sucks. Like, we had a girl try and break into my house last year, just some random fucking lady, and like, so weird. But I'm at work, and when I get home, my neighbor, like, he's only here on, you know, Fridays, and he's like works in the dynamite fucking mines and shit, like just blowing shit up every week. Anyways, he's here and just fucking just super drunk outside, and then when I get home, I'm like walking past him. It's like, "Hey man, fucking some bitch tried to break into your house." I'm like, wait a second, like, did she actually? Like, I wasn't sure. Got talking to him. Sure enough, fucking, you know, we find out from the other neighbors that this lady tried to break into like 4 houses that day, and then she like stole a bunch of shit from our deck. Nothing like crazy. It wasn't, none of it was even mine. It was all my girlfriend's stuff, but the cops fucking show up. They arrest her, put her in the back of the car, and then fucking let her go. And I'm like, dude, this lady literally just tried to break into like 4 people's houses.
They couldn't prove it or what?
Dude, she walked into like people's homes. She literally walked into this old guy's house that lives like a couple of doors down from us, and was in his fucking kitchen. And he's like, "What are you doing here? Like, I don't know you." But I think it was just some cracked out lady on meth. And I think that like they just scared the shit out of her. And because they couldn't get a hold of us, they didn't know whether like, you know, if we wanted to press charges or anything. And either way, like, I don't really care because she hasn't been back. But like, dude, fucking all of our doors are locked, like, twice as much as they used to be. Like, we have 2 locks on our doors now just because of that.
Damn.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't like thieves, man.
It's the worst fucking kind of person, man. Like I work in retail as a part-time job just to support everything that I'm doing, and my job is to like, I'm loss prevention. I deal with like theft all day. So it's already bad enough when it's like when it strikes your own fucking house, it's kind of a piss off, that's for sure.
God, I fucking hate thieves so much.
Yeah, I can fucking tell, man. Especially when they fuck with your stuff, right? Like they took so much out of that truck. Like, did insurance actually?
It wasn't bad. I was driving it the next day with a screwdriver in the ignition.
Hell yeah.
I went and bought a battery, and I said, "Fuck it, it's on."
Did insurance actually cover anything on that, or did you even bother to go through insurance?
Are you fucking high? I got liability insurance, so I ain't getting nothing paid back at all.
Oh fuck, that's rough.
I just run it cheap.
There you
it's a
go.
truck anyway, so I mean, if you have more than liability insurance, you're wasting money.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
That's fuck, dude. Our buddy just got $3,500 for a van that he paid $500 for. So
Jeez.
I guess insurance could be good.
Yeah, definitely. Like for maybe 5% of people.
Yeah.
For the other 95, it's more of a cash grab than anything. But what do you do,
sure.
right? Cool. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about with you was, of course, it has to be the Barbie bike, the Barbie bike, the bike that everybody like absolutely fucking loved. So I'm going to pull up a photo on screen, but why don't you tell us about how you actually came across this bike and where you got it from?
Well, as like every other story that I have, it starts with sauce. Sauce has like a goddamn slug bug fender or something, And this dude comes over and buys the slug bug fender, but doesn't have enough cash and just happened to have this 18-inch Haro bike in his car, right? So he says, well, I'll give you cash and then this bike. So Sauce comes up on this Barbie bike in a trade. And now Sauce is like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll sell it for $40 on fucking OfferUp or something. I was like, fuck that, dude. That thing's a Haro. That thing's like my first bike ever. You got to give it to me. And he would not fucking give it to me. So he sold it to me for $28. We flipped. We flipped for it. It was either $30 or $25.
Oh.
Yeah, Sauce says it was $30 or free. And then, as it turns out, I lost the flip because I lose every single flip I've ever done with Sauce. And all I had was $28, which he took gladly.
That's incredible. That fucking bike, man. It's insane. That bike is, I can't believe
that thing was solid.
Dude, I honestly cannot believe the shit that you sent on that bike and like the amount of fucking like, just ridiculous riding it went through and held up through all of it. Like just crazy.
I can't believe it either.
There's
like the crook, that's kind of reasonable. It was like whatever. I was like, crook's low impact, double tag low impact. But the hanger, that thing should have broken half for sure.
Yeah.
And it just didn't.
Fucking insane, dude. So I'm gonna pull up that hanger clip here. I just gotta find it. The hanger blew my fucking mind, and I think that it blew pretty much everybody's mind because
I definitely was not planning on doing that. Like I was planning on doing the double tag for sure because I knew that whole street ride was gonna go to Hollywood High that day. And then when we got to Hollywood High, like there's fucking 100 riders there, and nobody's hitting the rail. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Get up there with a Barbie bike. I'll get this party started. Did the double tag, and then everyone's like, what? Freaking out. And then Sauce started yelling at me from the bottom, hanger, after I did the crook.
It's so fucking wild, man. I cannot believe that you've pulled that fucking hanger on that. And it held up perfectly. Like, did you even, do anything to the rims when you landed, or were you good?
No, those rims are solid. I actually ended up, you know what I did? I built that bike up before that jam day. I put a free coaster on it, I put 4 pegs on it, and I put BSD hubs on it.
That's awesome.
And I think I even got 3-piece cranks for it.
That's
I went
sick.
in on building that thing the day before.
I love the hanger on the picnic bench. I don't know why, but that clip just fucking blows my mind. Like, I don't know why. It's so fucking cool. And the way that you
It's a cool photo for sure.
dude, the way you held it is so fucking steezy too. Like, just looks
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, I'll pull up the photo and show that to everybody.
Yeah, that thing got really, really steep really fast. That's why I'm like really happy that hanger went first try on the Hollywood deal, because I got so steep in that thing, I thought I was going to body slam for about half a second. And then once I touched the rail, then it settled out. But when I was diving into the hanger, it felt like I was going over.
Did you do the hanger on the picnic bench first or after the Hollywood High set?
Pretty sure that was after.
Jesus,
I think
man.
the hanger on the bench was once I started drinking.
That's awesome. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, let's move on here. Oh, never mind. You hit the fucking loop at Swamp Fest on that, didn't you? Or you tried?
Yeah, only because Crandall said he'll give me $500 if I do it. $500, or maybe he said $420 to you if you do it on the Barbie bike. This is after I already took like 8 slams on my big bike. Couldn't do it on my big bike at all. He goes, I need $500 to do it on the Barbie bike. So I said, bet. Pull back over to camp, grab that thing. I'm kind of like already half concussed from my last fall. And then I just fucking went up that quarter and pedaled that thing as hard as I could. Wasn't even close to enough. Didn't have any of the speed I needed. And I fell straight to the ground from the top and bruised my rib cage and fucked the rest of my weekend up. Definitely shouldn't have tried that, but it was pretty goddamn funny.
It was the best fucking clip. That was seriously one of the highlights of that weekend.
Hey, I still got some money for it too. He ended up giving me like $120 and a pack of menthol cigarettes.
That's awesome. Dude, Crandall's the fucking man. I have I'm like looking right across my office right now, and one of my guests gave me a Crandall painting of a goat smoking a cigarette or a joint. I can't tell.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, but that's like one of my prized possessions is definitely that fucking Crandall painting.
Very cool.
Yeah, like seriously the coolest dude. And he actually inspired me to I'm going to be buying a school bus over the next couple of years and like decking it out, making it a fucking like portable home essentially, but also portable like podcast studio so that I can actually travel to Huntington Beach and sit down with you in person and do this kind of stuff. I think that would be a lot better.
Moves.
Yeah.
All right, well, just make this house your first stop and I'll help you build your bed or whatever the fuck you need.
Fuck yeah.
Tools out here.
Hell yeah. That would be sick, man. But yeah, we're going to plan
shag carpeting in it.
Hell yeah, you got to have that.
Stabbing cabin to max.
So good. Well, I'll definitely, when we have that up and running and we'll, like whenever we get our bus, we'll fucking definitely drive down there and hang out for a little while if you guys are cool with that. But yeah, let's jump into some fan questions here. So Scottish Shredder Kieran asks, how do you feel about Scotland compared to LA?
Scotland is definitely a grimy place. It's kind of where I belong. I love it. We went there. I was only there for probably like 3 days, but the spots that we found that quick was fucking incredible. I can't believe some of the shit that exists out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say it's better than LA because LA is so big, you know? Well, you can go anywhere in LA County, you can find a spot. There's fucking millions out here. Scotland's a little smaller, so.
And I feel like, you know, there's 3 BMX capitals of the world being Barcelona, Austin, Texas, and LA. Like, unfortunately, Scotland isn't just in there. And, like, there's so much more. Like, even if Scotland had 10 times the spots, if they still had the same, like, vibe and still the same amount of people there, it wouldn't be the same compared to LA with, you know, all the craziest riders. Like, literally all the best riders.
There, so.
Yeah. All the best riders are in Huntington Beach or in fucking LA somewhere, you know? Like,
yeah. It's pretty crazy. Like, some days you'll be out here and you'll just go to Van Skate Park on a Wednesday, and there's like 20 top pros there. Think about being just a little kid pulling up, like, oh shit, we might see Devin there or whatever. And then pulling up and there's just 20 pros.
Yeah.
Like, nowhere else in the world are you going to get that except Barcelona after Simple Session. And
maybe House Park in Austin, Texas.
True. House Park has its days for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny though that you mentioned the whole Barcelona after Simple Session thing. That's like literally everybody goes there right after. It's pretty close.
Oh, that's
So
Eddie's dream right there.
yeah. I actually I just released an article on Simple Session yesterday with a local dude who's from Estonia. He's pretty good too. He's a park rider, but he does like flip whips and shit. But yeah, definitely check that out if you want to.
Oh yeah.
But moving on, last question here. We have Chris Brown. He wants to know how you had the idea to slide the Hollywood High on a 110cc dirt bike.
Well, Hollywood High was not the original intent at all. The original intent was to just do a down rail on a dirt bike, but that was after I figured out that I could even like grind a dirt bike at March Madness Jam. March Madness Jam was going on, and I didn't feel like riding BMX that day, so I just brought my dirt bike instead. And I ended up grinding their whole entire flat rail. So that's when I realized that I could actually grind on a dirt bike. And then from that point on, I was like, okay, it's time to do a down rail. Like, I think I could do one. I know of one. I'll build a little ramp. We'll go do it. So I went to this rail out in Corona, and it's like a real low right side rail. It was capped when we got there, but they were like real small caps. I said, fuck it, don't matter. Threw the ramp down, and I did that one second try. I was like, oh shit, that was sick. That was easy. Scary as fuck still. Like the first time I tried it, I actually jumped off the ramp and went completely over the handrail and landed flat at the bottom and then whiskey throttled into the wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then fucking right after that, just went a little slower and handled it. But then right after we left that place, big smiles on our face. We go to In-N-Out drive-thru, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, fuck, man, the ramp was kind of lame. Like, just kind of trying to brainstorm and see what rail would be better for it. And I was thinking, like, dude, Hollywood High, it's the perfect rail. You don't need no ramp. Just literally ride right onto it. It's so steep and long enough that it'll work perfect. And then I hit up Scott Marceau and said, Scott, what are you doing on Sunday, bro? I need you to shoot a photo for me. And then he was stoked and down. So that's how that went down. The next Sunday, we just pulled up and fucking handled it. Adam ended up showing up, and there was like a whole gang of people there. It was sick.
Yeah, absolutely insane. There's so many people around too. There's like a lady on a fucking electric scooter. There's like a couple old dudes
Yeah.
in the back there.
Oh, it's fucking right there. It's right there in downtown Hollywood. So there's a bunch of freaks out there and tourists, and it was packed. It was awesome. It's also like a public parking lot where you could pay $10 to park your car all day long. So there was just a bunch of random people there.
Oh man. Yeah, so fucking crazy. I would definitely, seeing that in person probably blew a couple fucking minds. Like,
Yeah, I'd say so. I can't wait to see what else is possible on the 110. I'm going to be pushing that this year, I think.
hell yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely fucking be watching those clips, man. They always blow my mind. Like, it's just insane, the stuff that you'll do on a dirt bike. Did you have like any background in moto, or did you just kind of get into it like through BMX? I can't remember if we talked about this at the beginning.
No, we didn't. Yeah, I do have background in moto, actually. When I was 8 years old, I was jumping like 65 feet off of a metal ramp onto like a dirt landing ramp, and then also jumping cars and shit.
Jeez, man. Dude,
yeah, I was on like a freestyle motocross team called Chapter 11. You could look them up on Instagram. Chapter 11 FMX. You won't see anything of me because Instagram obviously didn't exist. But, dude, those were the boys. Jason Ebel, Arlen Vandemar, a couple other guys. They were kind of like my mentors. I had the little KX65, and they all had their big bikes, and they're doing backflips in 2003. So they were like part of the first 10 dudes to do backflips. This was in that time, and I was just there doing no-handers and shit like that.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, man. I feel like you were probably closest example to Pat Casey's kid, Reed Casey. At least the way that he's going to be in like 2-3 years from now.
That kid is so sick.
He's fucking wild, man.
He's ripping. But yeah, I was like that. I mean, I didn't have no control on the dirt bike. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Just holding on, eh?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I could ride out in the desert, and go real fast, and I had fun on my dirt bike, but I never really had crazy good control. And I didn't know how to time dirt jumps that much. So my dad would be standing at the bottom of that metal ramp, like acting like he was giving the throttle, If I needed to go faster, he would fucking do an air twist on the throttle, like, God, go faster. And then I would just grip the throttle and still go right off the ramp. It was probably so scary for him now that I think about it, but.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man, I always wonder how like Pat feels about his kid just sending shit like, but he's done all this stuff his life to like all his life, so I feel like he knows. Like for anybody else, like I've shown my girlfriend clips of Pat Casey's kid, and she's like, if we ever have kids, that is not our fucking kid. Secretly I'm like, it absolutely fucking will be.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. So I think we're going to end this off, but I have one last question for you, Denim. This has been awesome so far. So, huge thank you for doing this, Actually, it really means a lot to me. So
it's pretty sick, man. It's a good little podcast.
Hell yeah. Thank you. But my last question for you would you be able to give any advice to kids out there who, are wanting to go pro or at least want to get like to a pro level on a bike?
Yeah. Sure. If you want to be a pro BMX rider, you should get a day job, and you should work 40 hours a week, and you should make all the money you need to get in your car, fucking put some gas in it, and go out and explore. Don't stay in your town, because that shit gets stale after a while. If you go out and you explore and you meet new people out in the world, it's only going to help you in the long run. That's what BMX is all about to me. Going out, making friends, and riding cool stuff. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
It's not really about going pro. Like, if you're sitting there hungry as fuck and you're out there, like, trying to do all the craziest shit, and I don't know, if you're out there really acting hungry, people are going to look at you different. But if you're out there having fun and just doing your own thing, then people see you and they're like, wow, dude, I fucking love that guy. Rather than, oh, fuck that kid. All he wants to do is get sponsored or whatever.
That is a really good point, and I 100% agree with you on it. And I think that, like, the fact that, you as a rider can back that up with the way that you ride, like, yeah, you send the biggest, burliest shit, but you don't do it to be pro. You do it because that's what you like to do, I think that plays a really big role.
Fuck, half the time it's not even me that wants to do it. It's the spot that wants me to do it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, just be out there, do your own thing. That's the best advice you can get.
Hell yeah, man.
Do your own thing and don't worry about it. Don't ever think that you're going to make your wealth on BMX, because it's not going to happen unless you're in X Games. If you want to go to X Games, then, yeah, get really serious. Get hungry and go to the skate park and do your flare whips.
Pretty much.
If you want to just have fun and be a street rider, it's a different story.
Absolutely. It's so weird too that like when you look at park riding versus street riding, it's so different if you look at the way that the lifestyles work, I guess. Like with street riding, I feel like you're more about like, the actual adventure of finding new spots, meeting new people and traveling. Whereas park riders, I feel like they're just looking for the next big like quarter pipe. And I've probably seemed like an asshole for saying that, but like I don't know, that's just how I feel. I personally feel that street riding is way more impressive. Like if you were to film a street video part,
is like a lot about creativity, where park riding there's tons of creativity, of course. With every fucking skate park, there's that little nook and cranny that somebody's going to find and do some crazy shit on. But
oh, absolutely.
I feel like a lot of the times they're just going for the biggest shit and trying to make,
that's
happen.
That's a really good point. And I think it was Albies. They posted a video the other day of student 2008, I think it was at a contest. And he did like, I think it was a hand plant tail whip on a wall. And he's doing like all these crazy hand plant tricks and big transfers. And this was like at a park contest. And I reposted it on my account that I just basically repost all the local dudes from around here and just anybody that like I think is underrated. But anyways,
Mhm.
that was something where like I looked at it as so much different than park riding nowadays. I think it's really changed in the last like 12 years of going from like style and creativity and being able to ride like, as your own rather than like nowadays where I feel like at the Olympics it's going to be difficult to distinguish which person is which because they're all going to wear the same fucking jerseys and they're all doing the same tricks,
Yeah, that shit'll be different.
yeah, I think it's a good thing that it's definitely getting done. And like, I think it's good that BMX is going to be recognized that way. But I also kind of feel that, like, the true people that are really into BMX will see it as more than just a contest with flips and whips. They'll really
Yeah.
understand that, like, it's all about being out there in the fucking streets with your boys doing, crank slides on a fucking 110 dirt bike. Like, just, the craziest shit. I think those those memories and that kind of stuff will live way past some person's fucking X Games run.
Yeah, definitely. I
Absolutely.
can back that.
Hell yeah.
5 years of working on Monster Mash, I'll never forget that, dude. That's like the best thing that ever happened to me. 5 years working on a street project.
Dude,
Now imagine filming a park video for 5 years. It's not even that would be insane.
yeah, I feel like most people don't even film park videos for 2 months, Like I
Park
feel like
videos are one day almost.
most times, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like it's so crazy, but my dad's a tattoo artist, and tattoos have always been a big thing to me. And both videos that I've done, I have the covers tattooed on me, and I even went as far as tattooing the cover of Space Goats on my fucking hand because it means that much to me. Where like the
Fuck yeah.
first thing people are gonna see when they see me is that when I fucking go to shake their hand, and like I cannot wait to explain to them like what I went through, over the course of 3 years to fucking do it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fucking A. I love tattoos as well. I got a couple good ones.
Hell yeah, man. Well, if you're
I
ever
got a
up
mom
in,
tattoo on my right shoulder. Or no, a mom tattoo on my left shoulder, right? It's classic SpongeBob style. Mom heart with an arrow through it type deal.
that's
And then
awesome.
on my other shoulder, I got a tattoo from my dad. This is like my most recent tattoo. My dad's fucking all hammered one day. He says, "Son, you love me, right?" "Yeah, Dad, I love you, man. You're the best." He goes, "I want you to take that heart, flip that thing upside down, and turn it into a nutsack." Dad. So on my right shoulder, I've got a nutsack with a dad banner.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Fucking love that, dude.
And if you've got hairy shoulders, you're good. You've got the fucking pubes on there and everything.
Oh no, there's tattooed pubes. It's awesome. It's fucking vulgar, dude.
That's hilarious.
Pretty funny.
Oh man, that's incredible. Denim, if you're ever interested in riding, Toronto, Kitchener, fucking Montreal, any of those areas, and you feel like crossing the border into the Great White North, please fucking send me a message and we'll set something up. And I would love to
Yes, sir.
hang out with you for a little while.
That'd be fucking fun.
Hell yeah, man. Well, this has been great. This is honestly one of my favorite episodes I've done so far. So,
Hell yeah.
huge shout out to
Right
you
on.
for
Well,
that.
thank you very much. I'm stoked I was able to do it.
Fuck yeah.
It worked out.
Well, have a good rest of your day, man, and we'll talk soon. To everybody else, thank you guys for watching, and have a good rest of your night. Peace.
Peace.